Now, scholars, we are ready for uppercase R and uppercase S. Are you ready for the uppercase R? I hope you are. Ba-dum-bum. So, scholars, we're going to start with trace and try, but you're watching me do a couple of them, even though you're looking at them right now thinking, wow, that looks a lot like a printed uppercase R. It is true, but I want you to watch me do a couple of them first. So, scholars, pencils are down. You're watching me. I'm starting at the top line, slant down to the baseline, back up, around, touch back, kick out tail. Watching me do one, please. Starting at the top line, slant to the baseline, back up, around, touch back, kick out tail. All right. So, watching one more pair from me, please. Oh, pencils are down. Starting at the top line, slant to the baseline, back up, around for the touchback, kick out tail. Right? So, scholars, make sure you're touching the baseline here and on your kick out tail. That's very important. Watching me make this last one. Here we go, starting at the top line, slant to the baseline, back up, around, touchback, kick out tail. All right, here we go. The moment you've been waiting for. Pencils up. Let's trace one together. Starting at the top line. Slant to the baseline. Back up. Around. Touch back. Kick out tail. All right, we're going to make one. Ready? Starting at the baseline. Starting at the top line. Slant to the baseline. Back up. Around for the touchback. Kick out tail. Now, scholars, that kick out tail is what's going to hook to the next letter, right? So if you look at red down here with this somewhat sloppy R, right, you're going to be writing your R and then that kick out tail goes right into the loop of the E and then the up and over of the D. So you're writing that whole thing and then picking up your pencil. But back up here for a minute to our uppercase R. So tracing another one, starting at the top line, slant to the baseline, back up, around for the touchback, kick out tail. Starting at the top line, slant to the baseline, back up, around for the touchback, kick out tail. Ooh, one more pair. Trace and try. Here we go. Tracing, top line, down to the baseline, back up, around, touchback, kick out tail. All right, we're trying one more together. Here we go. Starting at the top line, slanting to the baseline, back up, around, touchback, kick out tail. Ooh, that one got a little wonky from me, right? It's probably not one of my best ones. You scholars are writing, right? Trace this one and write at least 6 more right here. And then red at least 2 times. And then we'll move on to the uppercase S. Go ahead, pause and work on those R's right now. Now that you've taken care of those R's, before we turn to the S side, right, go back and take a look. Did you touch the top line with the top of your R? Did the bottom, right? Did you touch the baseline in both spots? All right, turning to do our lowercase s. Now, scholars, you're going to want to really watch lowercase s carefully, right? It's not that it's a tricky letter so much, as long as you watch the order, right, where we're going with it. So, watch me very closely with a few of these trace and tries, You set your pencil down for a minute. I'm going to zoom us in. So scholars, for the uppercase S, we start at the baseline, right? Big slant to the top line, thin loop, big belly, point, kick out. I'm going to trace another one, and then I'll go back and do a couple tries. But starting at the baseline, pencils are down, you're just watching. Big slant to the top line, thin loop, belly, point, kick out. Right, so you want to make sure you're keeping the loop thin here, and then the belly here. You want to make sure you come out a little bit, but not too far. Like if you look down here at the word C, this one's probably too big. So let me show you one. Watching, please. Starting at the baseline. Big slant. Thin loop. Belly. Point. Kick out. Right, now notice my point doesn't actually touch, right, the middle line. It just gets really close to it. Starting at the baseline. Big slant. Thin loop. Belly. Point. Kick out. Let's try a trace together. Tracing, pencils are up. So notice how when I say big slant, right? We're not just doing a slant like this, right? It's a pretty big slant. Like we're going pretty far over. Oops, sorry, I'm not showing you that. So we're going pretty far over, right? Don't do it too much. Like you don't want something like this, right? That's too big of a slant. But this would be too little of a slant. So you're going to have to work with that a little bit, right? And give yourself some patience. Be patient with yourself. So tracing, starting right here. Pencils ready, everyone? Big slant. Thin loop. Belly. Point. Kick out. Let's trace another one. Don't try one yet. Let's go right here and trace another one together. Starting at the baseline. Big slant. Thin loop. Belly. Point. Kick out. Let's trace this third one, and then we'll go back and try them. Starting at the baseline. Big slant. Thin loop. Belly. Point. Kick out. All right, now, writers, we're going to practice 3 of those together on this line. So get your pencil ready. Here we go. Starting at the baseline. Big slant. Thin loop. Belly. Point. Kick out. Starting at the baseline. Big slant. Thin loop. Belly. Point. Kick out. Right, you want to be really careful, scholars, because you don't want to do too big of a slant, too big of a loop, or too big of a belly, because then you get something like that, right? Which you could still tell it's an S, but not great. So be careful that you're not doing too big of a loop here or too big of a belly here. So here we go. Let's make this the best one yet. Starting at the baseline. Big slant. thin loop, belly, point, kick out. How'd you do, scholars? Whenever I see an uppercase S, it always reminds me of a bird. Right? So maybe you can find your favorite one and make it into a little bird. Then, scholars, you are working on tracing this one and trying at least 6. And then we have the word sea, right? Like they crossed the sea in a tiny rowboat. So making your S. See if you can make your S better than that sample S. And then the kick out tail goes right into being that E. And then the A. So C at least 2 times. Remember S at least 6 times. All right. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Good luck, scholars. And remember, submit a photo of your R page and your S page to your teacher when you are finished. That's today's cursive. Thanks for joining me.